Are you an empath? That is the question of the morning. Yeah, it's a beautiful question. So we're going to talk about what an empath is, talk about some myths about empaths. And I'm going to stop some empaths from absorbing quick. I want to help y'all stop absorbing. Here's why. Because I am an empath, all right? I work with my empathetic ability all week long. This is what I do full time. And you at any point find me being drained because I help people. Okay? I'm going to tell you why I be drained, because I like to stay up all night. That drains me. So I want to invite you to a free Facebook group I have. I just started it yesterday for a personal project that I'm working on. It's called Healing Anxiety. If you got anxiety, I'm going to help you out. Okay? My message to you is empaths, stop absorbing. Thousands of people were telling me it was impossible. Thousands of people. That's what made me launch my Empath Bootcamp, because I was like, people need to know that you can stop absorbing. So here's the next question, empath. Do you absorb other people's problems to the point where you feel drained? You feel your energy leaving you? Sometimes you dread it. You got to stay in the bed for hours recuperating after it. Are you often feeling their pain, feeling what they're experiencing? They go away feeling better after dealing with you, and you have taken it all within your own being. You don't even feel good for your own life sometimes. Yeah. Okay, that's because you need what I'm about to tell you. Okay? My message always is empaths, stop absorbing. Type Y and share the video, please. Because you are exchanging with me good energy. Okay? Y'all need to learn how to set up energy exchanges, empaths. Okay? You need to start learning how to set up energy exchanges. I'm modeling for you how to do that. A lot of empaths give and give and give, and they don't think about themselves. But you are a crucial component. In fact, you need to think about yourself first, because that's part of why you get drained. But we're about to get into this. Thank you for the hearts. I received that. That's an exchange that motivates me. When I see hearts going across the screen, I feel the energy. I feel motivated to give. When you're interacting with me, I feel the energy and I feel motivated to give. I want to feel that energy, so I plug into that. Okay? I'm motivated by your interaction. I'm motivated by your feedback. I'm motivated by money. I'm motivated by my passion. An empath is an individual who can perceive energy. So the most common question is everyone an empath? I would say that everyone has the ability to perceive energies. An empath is the person who has the ability to perceive energies, and they're open to it. Some people are not open. Some empaths are open just by the nature of their being. They didn't really plug into anything. It just happened because of the way they were conditioned. Okay? A lot of children who were first born were opened just by conditioning, because you had to anticipate the needs of siblings. You had to anticipate the needs of parents. You had to anticipate and be moved to help them. Okay? So certain conditioning will prime you for it. But everybody is a field of energy, and everybody can. Some people are open more than others. If you lived a life where you had to make sure that your parents weren't angry with you, or anticipate how mad they would be, or if you had parents in a lot of pain, or caretakers in a lot of pain, if you had people around you in a lot of pain, maybe if you were bullied and harassed, all right, then you probably are more open than some people. People who have emotions that don't easily suppress, they are more open. Hey, Queen. Okay, they are more open. Some people learned how to live without their emotions and learned how to not plug into other people's pain. They don't even open to it. Those people are not open, so they probably are not saying that they're an empath. But anybody can be. Not everybody is open to it. Some people open with intention. If you're not naturally open, when you become emotionally intelligent, you can open. Okay? But here's the thing. When you open, and when you were opened to it, hey, Yoga Yoda, thank you, Anna, you needed some guidelines and you were not provided those guidelines. So you were stuck with just being open, just like a vase, all right? Just being open. So people would pour in or you would absorb like a sponge. And I often tell empaths, you're not a sponge. Say it with me, you're not a sponge. You know what happens to a sponge when it absorbs too much? Okay, if the sponge just sits there and it has absorbed too much liquid, bacteria will start to grow. Mold will start to grow because it's stagnant energy, but it's ripe for the stuff you don't want. You're not a sponge, so you're not here to absorb. You also are not a vase, okay? A vase for people to pour stuff in. They keep pouring and pouring. You don't know what to do. Before you know it, their stuff is spilling out and you're bleeding out all over the place. And then you don't know what to do for yourself. You're not a sponge and you also are not a vase. Okay? I'm giving you some empath identity here. I want you to soak this in. But what you are is a field of energy. And when you learn how to set up energetic currents, when you learn how to set up energetic currents, then you are fulfilled as you give. You are fulfilled as you give. And if you learn how to set up energetic exchanges, because you are tuned into yourself first, then you're not going to be drained. There's a lot of ways you get drained, but that's number one, okay? I'm just going to give y'all one today because I could give y'all a lot. Y'all be doing a lot of this. All right. And so one way that you set up a one-way exchange. Are y'all ready for one way that you do this? If so, say yes, share the video, tap the screen, something. I got to know that you're still on the bus with me because I'm driving this bus somewhere. I want to give you one way that you set up one-way exchanges. Okay. You set up one-way exchanges when you think that you need to save people. When you think that people need saving. Okay? When you think that you need to save people and people need saving, you automatically set up a one-way. And it's not even an exchange. You set up a one-way portal. It's only going out. There's nothing coming back in. When you are unaware of the reasons that you give. If you think you're giving for the other person, listen to me. If you think you're giving for the other person, then it's only one way going out. You think you're giving for the other person, it's one way going out. Hey, white dove. You got to become aware of the reason that you're really giving. And this takes some subconscious work. I'm about to give you some subconscious work because on the surface, you're going to say, I give because I like to see people happy. That's what you're going to say on the surface. I'm talking about something beneath the surface. I'm trying to help you stop doing this, but you're going to keep doing it if this sits in your subconscious. Y'all here for that? Now, if you want to resist it, it might need to stay in your subconscious a little longer. I get that. I'm here for the person that's tired of being drained. Okay? This is subconscious. So you're going to tell me that it's not true. But I want you to sit on this for a little while. And when I say give, I'm not even talking about just material things. I'm not talking about just money. I'm talking about time. I'm talking about emotional effort. I'm talking about your ear. I'm talking about your space. I'm talking about resources too that are material. But I'm also talking about intangible things like forgiveness and grace and acceptance and non-judgment. Okay? All right? All right, good. So step one is realizing that this is not serving me. How do you know it's not serving? Because you feel resentful inside. You feel like people always asking you and coming to you, but who is there for you? That's a sign it's not serving. Another sign that it's not serving you is that you get drained after, you don't feel fulfilled. So let's talk about the subconscious thing. And then I set my alarm so I don't run over. Okay. So on the surface, stay with me. On the surface, you're going to say, I give because I like to see people happy. That's what we all say. You're going to say, I give because I enjoy giving, because I'm a giver. That's cool too. But we're talking about something subconscious. Okay. And I'm going to tell you how I know that this is true. So I'm not just trying to give you stuff. I'm going to give you how I know it's true also. Subconsciously, you have been conditioned in your giving. Conditioning means you have received rules about giving from the people around you, your experiences, from the people around you and your experiences, also teachings like religious teachings, etc. You have been given rules. You have been given instructions on how to give and what's acceptable to give, when, etc., etc. All right. So a lot of people in their subconscious have learned that giving helps them be seen and acknowledged. There's nothing wrong with this. Stay with me, because somebody's wincing and like, I don't give for acknowledgement. It's subconscious, okay? It's subconscious. You have learned that when you give, people are more receptive to you. Their energy shifts where you are concerned. This is true. You have learned that when you give, people soften. You have learned that when you give, it's an enjoyable experience because their energy shifts towards you. Okay? Let's acknowledge it for what it is. We got to come here so you can see that you give because you want something. Even if you just give because the feeling makes you feel good and you don't look at why it makes you feel good, because most people don't look at why they feel good. They just think giving made them feel good. But no, you gave and some positive associations were triggered and you liked that. You felt that inside of you. And because you felt good, you gave. I'm talking about the times where you're saying, I just give because I like to. We got to look at the deeper part of this, y'all. If y'all want to go deep, I go deep because I don't like staying on the surface. It's not, I just like giving. That's staying on the surface. But here's the truth. Your native design is exchange. But you've been taught that you should give without expecting. You've been taught that you should give because you're obligated. You have been taught that you give because you are responsible. You have been taught that you give because it is the right thing to do, and you are convinced that life is about doing the right thing, and so that's why you do it. And you've been taught, give. Don't give grudgingly, nor of necessity, for God loveth a cheerful giver. But the rest of that is, let a man give as he purposed in his heart. Give with a purpose, as you see fit in your heart, as you see fit, not because they need it. Give as you see fit, as you purpose in your heart. Let you give, and don't give it grudgingly or of necessity. Why? Because it came out of your heart. You gave because you wanted to, and that is the way to give and have an immediate exchange. But if you are unaware of this, Grand Rising Moon, if you're unaware of this, you think you just give to people. I just give to people and they take and take and take. And they know you give because you want to. Maybe you get the feeling that you want. You want that. You give because you can't stand to see somebody without, because you got some unresolved past in there. You can't stand to see somebody going without something. That's you. You do that because you want to. Okay? And if you can admit that and do it without shame, there ain't no shame here. We give to get. Yes, we do. That is the cycle of abundance. That is how this universe is designed. There's part of the cycle that's giving and part of the cycle that's receiving. But we're so uncomfortable with receiving. Oh, but you will talk about karma till the cows come home. Karma gonna get you that. You scared of karma. You don't want to do this because of karma. You believe in karma, giving and getting, but where it comes to this giving, you have a problem receiving. So if you can understand this, then you can stop telling a disempowering story about how people just take from you. They receive what you give. K9, what's up? They receive what you give. They can't take nothing from you. You give it because you want to, because you got a belief system. You believe something about the situation, and that's why you give. But your belief systems are mostly unconscious. So you think you're giving for them. You give because you believe something. And the sooner you realize this, the more empowered you become, because you only ever gave because you wanted to. You assess the situation. Maybe you gave to avoid something. Maybe you gave to get something. Maybe you gave because you wanted to feel something or see something. But it began with you. I gave because I wanted. I gave because I wanted. Not I gave because they wanted. Not I gave because they asked. Not I gave because they needed. Because if you didn't have the belief system, you wouldn't give it. You gave because it came from inside of you, the thought to do it. You gave because of you. You never gave only for someone else. Now, you gave and you overextended yourself and you drained yourself, and they were not seeing that you were drained because they were in receptive mode. And there's nothing wrong with that. They were in their cycle of abundance while you were unconscious. You can't get mad at them for that. You had to learn your lesson. Now that you are listening to this, my hope is that you identify the reasons that you give and do it with intention now. Don't go back to sleep talking about I just give because that's called a self-preserving bias. Like you have a need to nobilize yourself. Hey, Genevieve, you have a need to nobilize yourself in your actions and be self-righteous in it, while the other is wrong and selfish. See, I'm not selfish. I give. They take. No. You give because you wanted to. So now all of those years that you've been rehearsing how people just take and take and take from you, if you ponder on this empath, if you ponder on this, it's going to bring you into your personal power. Now you can ask yourself with intention, when it's time to give something or do something, do I want to? You might still do it and say yes, but at least you started with something mindful so that you can't be tricked by your own psyche that you're giving only for someone else. Do I want to? I'm glad you're here. So people think I'm selfish, I'm stubborn, I'm setting my ways because I'm only going to do what I want to do. Well, I'm trying to set an example for you. Because I be fulfilled in my relationships. I be fulfilled in my interactions. Nobody that knows me personally ever hears me saying I walk around drained because I gave and gave all day. I be drained because I didn't take a nap. It's not because I'm interacting with people. I don't need to wash other people's energy off of me. Okay? So empath. That's one thing to ponder on today. Love and light, Autumn. That's one thing to ponder on today. Makes sense. When you give, when you're in a situation to make any choice at all, you need to ask yourself, do you want to? Because time is up for doing stuff unconsciously and thinking that you're doing it for other people. It's time for us to wake up. So hopefully I just woke somebody up. You can stop saying that. Because the more you repeat that story, the more you victimize yourself. And the more you think people are taking advantage of you, and the more you need to isolate, and the more boundaries you need to put up, and it just goes on and on and on. Wake up. Really? Owls. Okay? Wake up. Wake up. Anybody who's saying that they gave and gave and gave to somebody and somebody was selfish and they didn't give back, that is not true. Now, you didn't get back the thing you wanted to get back because you didn't make it intentional. If I want somebody to move a certain way toward me, then I know it's a certain kind of energy I'm going to have to give. This is the dance of life. If I want you to see me and you don't see me, then I got to put myself in your perceptive field in a way that gives you something of value. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Can we be honest? And for a person to receive you, they got to perceive how you're going to affect their lives. And this has nothing to do with people don't see your value. People don't see what you're worth. People don't see. They don't need to see that. The ones that see it are the ones that's supposed to. Because some people don't see the value of having me in their life. I'm not walking away feeling hurt about it. It just ain't in alignment. They don't see the value of having a Veronica. I'm all right with that. Even if I see the value of having them, if they don't see the value, I understand that everybody has their own perception. Rejection is an illusion, y'all. I have a video on my YouTube channel, right now. It's an old video, but it's so relevant. Rejection is an illusion. Okay? People are on their life path choosing what's best for them at that time. All right? So, this life is about exchange. And even if you're unaware of the exchange, it's still there. It's still there even if you're unaware. And you know you're unaware because you're feeling like you got nothing. I'm grateful that you're here too, Shamafia. Hey, Prince. The only reason you feel that you got the short end of the stick is because you are unaware of the exchange that was actually taking place. But now you can become aware. And don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about negotiation. That's something totally different. I'm talking about noticing where you are in alignment with people, where you are not. And first, that comes by understanding your own inner landscape. Your own inner landscape first will help you to see if you're aligned with other people. Then you don't have to say they used me. Well, the person is telling you, let me tell you, because I'm going to tell you I like money. I have overcome the shame of that. Because when I grew up, it was like, don't be a gold digger. Don't be this. I ain't a gold digger. I like money. I like money, okay? I like making money, but more importantly, I like money being given to me. I'm not ashamed of that, okay? So when I'm talking to people, I don't mind letting them know that. So now they can assess, do I like this way of being in this person or don't I? And if they don't, it's okay. Good morning, Mr. Hunter. If they don't, it's okay. But we're not going to be negotiating. Well, what are you bringing to the table? No, let's just see if we're in alignment. And if we're not, we good. We're not sitting here negotiating back and forth. Well, what do you give? Well, I give this. I'm not selling myself and you're not selling yourself. We're talking about our desires and the experiences we want to create. And a person is not wrong for wanting to create a certain experience. It's their desire. Either you fit in or you don't. I always tell women, like, Don't be negotiating with people. You want what you want, okay? And there are plenty of people who like that exchange, okay? There are plenty of people who see how you are and who you are, and they feel what you want is it's asking little of them. They will give it willingly without negotiation. Don't sit there negotiating what you want. You want it. See if you're in alignment. If you're not, it's all right. Whatever you do, ask, do I want to? Do I want to? And then ask yourself, what outcome would I like to see? You got to be honest, I want them to show me gratitude. Good. Now, is this person likely to show you gratitude? Do you know yet? You want to give and see? Okay. But do they have a history of not showing you gratitude? And you still give anyway because you think you're giving to them? For them? See, you got to go through this vetting process within yourself. Do you want to? What outcome are you looking for? Are you truly okay if you don't get the outcome? And if you don't get the outcome, will you continue to give? Is it likely that the intended outcome come to manifestation? You got to be intentional. So that when you notice that you're not getting what you want, you can make a different decision and create a different experience. But we're not going to sit for years just calling somebody selfish, calling somebody inconsiderate, because you keep giving because you want. Okay, so I'm done. New things coming up. The waiting list for my life coach training. I just put that up this morning. I'm going to launch it. Information is coming soon. I give till I get shown it's not wanted. Right, so you want someone to receive you in your giving. But if you do that, make sure you're not walking away resentful because you keep doing that, all right? You got to find out if they agree, right? All right, so life coach training. You can get on the wait list. That's coming. I have my free group Healing Anxiety. That's in my profile. Deactivating triggers happens Sunday and 2 Sundays from now. What else? I think that's it. Feed something with intention. That's your homework. Give something with intention today. Know why you're giving it. Don't just be like, oh, I just like. No, you just like how you feel. So you like how you feel. That's why you give. Okay. Yes. No more resentment. Resentment is a thing of the past. Resentment is why an empath feels drained. I'm going to be teaching on this probably for the next couple of weeks. So y'all come back for part 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on and so forth. All right. Bye-bye.